All right, we are back. It looks like we did have another match set up for tonight. We have Pez and Sparkle again. This time it's going to be a Sacred Flames matchup between these two. Now, the team for Pez is going to be centered around Mega Golurk. This is an interesting team. Definitely wants to get Trick Room set up, has a hip out on to establish some sand. Definitely a very different look than a lot of these other teams. A very obviously hard Trick Room team. And then looking on the other side of Sparkle, we have another Trick Room team. This one utilizing Mega Blastoise. Also has the option for Mega Gengar though. It's going to be an interesting one as you could potentially see some Perish Trap usage here. Gengar really makes things interesting with the ways that it can be utilized. A big special attack mon with the Perish Trap in the back. Sinistra also very useful for a Perish Trap team because it can come in with those hospitalities and heal up Gengar. Gengar locking down opponents into their positions. Very, very interesting set. And without further ado, we're going to hop right into this. Let's see, Pez versus Sparkle. Who will our leads be? Sparkle's going to come out swinging with the Meowscarada and the Blastoise. Reuniclus and Torterra going to be the play coming from Pez. So off the rip, it looks like Pez is going to be the one that wants to set up the Trick Room, whereas the Meowscarada and the Blastoise are likely going to be swinging here on turn one.
Maybe Meowscarada can eliminate Torterra with a good hit here.
Potentially. You do have the Protean attack advantage too to make sure that that type becomes solidified with whatever move it is they use. Really opens up some options for damage here. Reuniclus is going to put down the Protect. I would be surprised if Torterra doesn't follow its lead with a double Protect. Fake Out going to come out into Reuniclus. Not going to be a double Protect. U-turn going to come down. Bug typing also into that Protect. What a Protect round one. Negating a Fake Out, negating a U-turn, getting a Leech Seed down. That's about as clean a turn one as you could expect for the Pez there. So here, you know that they wanted to double into that Reuniclus. You can see that that's sort of what they were fearing is that Trick Room, so to approach this turn with caution. There's going to be a triple axle into the Torterra. That's going to hit quite hard. That might kill, and it does. Triple axle, such a powerful move. The extreme effectiveness also really, really helpful in that usage. Dark Pulse going to be coming out. That's going to hit hard. Reuniclus is go down to 35 HP. Likely going to get a Trick Room set up here. It is not. It elects to Thunder Wave instead. So while the paralysis is nice, you are down a mon. You've dealt no damage, and all you've gotten out of this is a paralysis so far. That's going to put Pez behind the 8-ball on this. Now, Salazzle is going to come through. Blastoise can hit Salazzle quite hard here, but Salazzle does have the damage onto Meowscarada. That paralysis is going to slow down that Meowscarada as well, which is going to allow Pez to get an attack off on it this turn, most likely. However, if I am Sparkle, I am going... Oh, Salazzle with the Fake Out. Okay. I was going to say if I was Sparkle, I'd be looking for a Water Spout from that Blastoise here, but that's going to negate that from happening. Going to get a U-turn into Reuniclus. That will get the knockout and will allow Sparkle to reset their frontline mons. Would not be surprised if Sinistra comes out here. It's going to be Sharpedo. Leech Seed still in effect. Salazzle's going to say thank you. Hasn't taken any damage though, so it doesn't have anything to heal up. And the last mon is going to be that Mega Golurk. It's not going to have a Trick Room to protect it, and it's currently facing down 2 water types, so this is going to be a very precarious situation for this Golurk. Now, you could see Poltergeist coming out here, or... Gee, I'm trying to think what is saving move would be. Sludge Bomb's going to come out into the Blastoise. Water Spout's going to lay down the law next, though. That's going to do serious damage as it's super effective into both. Salazzle's going to be brought down to 15 HP. Golurk's going to lose 100 HP. Dynamic Punch is going to be the move. It is straight into a protecting Sharpedo, though, unfortunately. Salazzle's going to heal off some of that damage that it took from the Leech Seed. Now, that Protect was huge for Sharpedo. That Dynamic Punch would have hurt, but the Protect really saving itself. Now, Golurk, not Mega Evolving, is definitely a decision. It could have been an accident. It could have been intentional. But the damage it took likely would have been reduced by the Mega effect, as it would have been higher defenses. And again, no Mega is going to be applied. Sharpedo's going to get an easy knockout.
I think.
And that's going to be... that's going to be the Focus Sash coming out here. Water Pulse is going to lay down the law onto the Salazzle. That's going to be a knockout. Sparkle really taking advantage of this game. What a game coming out of Sparkle. Laying down the law game one. Really establishing a strong strategy from the get-go on turn one. And just sort of never let up on the gas. Very confident play. Very good. Very good match out of Sparkle here. And it looks like they're going to jump straight into game two. As we take a second for our competitors to get prepared for their second match in this set. You have to think that Pez is going to come with a different lead. I would be surprised if we don't see Trick Room coming out.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem is the two water types. It only has Torterra for that, but that got down one ice attack, so...
Yeah, Torterra really took the hammer early from that Meowscarada triple axle. That was significant damage, and that was with it as a bug type. It could have led with triple axle, got an ice type, and done even more damage. I'm mostly intrigued that we didn't see Mega Golurk. Pez elected to not Mega Evolve in that game, which seems odd to me. You do get the increased stats from Mega Evolution. The one thing I could think of is it with Mega Evolving, the ability is forced to be Unseen Fist, whereas base Golurk does get no guard. We saw that Dynamic Punch come out of that Golurk. Dynamic Punch is a move that is very high probability to miss. I believe it is only 50% accurate.
Yeah,
so that could have been a decision to not Mega in order to keep the no guard active.
Yeah, that sounds like what's the plan there.
And we see new leads here for Farigiraf and Sharpedo coming out of Sparkle, where we have Salazzle and Reuniclus for Pez. Now, one of the fun things with Farigiraf is you eliminate the ability to have priority attacks into the side of Sparkle, which means Sparkle can have Sharpedo here be the fastest thing on the field turn one. And Sharpedo Crunch is going to really threaten this Reuniclus turn one.
Rough with stopping with priority. Really annoying.
Yeah, very difficult to deal with. That is actually going to take out the Fake Out. So you're going to see the Fake Out come out here, but because of Farigiraf's on the field, that's not going to be an option. Imprison coming down onto Reuniclus. That prevents Trick Room from being set up. There is no more opportunity for Trick Room to go down as long as Farigiraf is on this field. The Sharpedo gonna probably look for an offensive move here, as the Fake Out was no good and it protected last turn. You're gonna see the Alley Switch go down here. So they're gonna change positions, potentially expecting something going out onto Farigiraf that it didn't want to live. Salazzle's gonna be the first one down. Liquidation gonna do major damage onto that. Very interesting combination here. Reuniclus is going to throw out the Thunder Wave. It's going to miss, and Sharpedo is going to get a speed boost. So that is a very, very effective turn coming out of Sparkle. Gets a free knockout. And seals off the Trick Room is huge for them as well. All right, so now you see Empoleon come out. I think a lot of people forget about that. You can't fake out into a Farigiraf. That really, really hurt Pez because it essentially lost them their turn one strategy with that inability to fake out on that first turn. That would have been protected anyway, but it still greatly affects the plan.
Especially losing the whole first turn, basically.
Yep. Essentially puts him a turn behind, and then second turn losing him on. Protect going to come out of the Reuniclus. Very important as that Sharpedo was threatening a kill with Crunch. Empoleon's going to Liquidation onto the Farigiraf, but that Farigiraf is a tank. It eats it without any issues. Thunderbolt's going to come down into Reuniclus as well. That Protect will continue to protect it. So some damage going out from the side of Pez here, not as much as they hoped for, most likely, as that Farigiraf really just ate that Liquidation. Close Combat's going to come down into the Empoleon. That's going to be big damage. Empoleon's going to survive with 3 HP, though. What a big attack laid down by Sharpedo. That was not stab boosted, and it still nearly killed. Ice Beam's going to be the return fire attack onto that Sharpedo. It is not very effective, but yet that damage was quite effective. That was a lot of HP it lost for that Ice Beam. Thunderbolt's going to hit Empoleon. That's going to get rid of those 3 remaining HP that it had. It will be a knockout. Reuniclus is going to Thunder Wave onto the Sharpedo. That speed boost out of Sharpedo, I believe, has it currently at +3 speed. Very unlikely that Thunder Wave is going to prevent it from being the fastest thing on this field. Taking a peek here, even after that Thunder Wave, Sharpedo is +3 speed, so it is definitely still the fastest thing on the field. There is the chance for it being paralyzed and unable to move, but I believe the effects of paralysis were weakened in the most recent generation. I believe it is less than 25% chance of a full paralysis on a Pokemon. Reuniclus is going to lay down a Protect once again. You will see Mega Golurk this time around. Ally Switch is going to come out of the Farigiraf. It's going to swap spots with that Sharpedo. And let's see what the move here is. Sharpedo is going to be paralyzed. It's not going to be able to move. Golurk's going to lay down an Earthquake. This is going to be significant damage coming down. That is going to kill the Sharpedo. That's going to be the Farigiraf under half. We're finally seeing Pez get some noticeable damage coming out of his Mons. Now, Citrus Berry is going to be popped on that Farigiraf, so it's still going to be standing with around 70% HP. It does secure a knockout, though. Sinistcha is going to come out and just about fully heal that Farigiraf, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think all statuses were weakened with the champions. Especially,
yeah, they really didn't want to see some Pokemon coming out and just having 4 status abilities. They didn't want the sleep, the paralysis, the burn everywhere.
Yeah.
Machigacha is going to lay down some serious damage onto this Golurk, just about 50%, and it's going to get the burn. That is really unfortunate for Pez. That's going to cut this Golurk's damage in half moving forward. That just might be the nail in this coffin. As Golurk's damage being reduced by half is going to make it very difficult for it to 1v3. Reuniclus is going to get some damage off into this Sinistcha. About 70 damage, just under 50%. Golurk's going to take a bit of damage from its burn. That burn might have just sealed the deal for Pez, though. Golurk really is the primary damage dealer for this team. Once it gets burned and its damage is cut in half, it is very difficult for it to lay down the law. Ally Switch is going to come out. That means whoever the intended target for that Poltergeist is going to... Not Poltergeist, Phantom Force. I'm sorry. Shadow Ball is going to knock out Reuniclus. We are likely going to see Farigiraf take a hit here from Phantom Force, which it does not affect. Unlucky. So Golurk is now facing down a 1v3 with a mon that it can't damage, that has the ability to swap places with the teammate. Sparkle might have checkmate here. This might be more than this Golurk can handle. Shadow Ball is going to come out. It's going to get the kill. That is going to be matched. That is a very quick and decisive 2-0 from Sparkle. Only dropping one Pokemon in this second match. Huge turnaround from their prior battle tonight as the Water Gym leader. You are seeing them come down in the Sacred Flames and secure a very quick, a very decisive, a very nice 2-0 victory. Well played, Sparkle. Well played. Now, as we take a quick look in the standings here, Sparkle was sitting at 3 wins and 4 losses. They will now be sitting at 5 wins and 4 losses. So that pulls them above a 50% win rate. Congratulations, Sparkle. Continue your run. We look forward to seeing it. Unfortunately for Pez, they came into this match 4-3. They will walk away 4-5, losing their above 50% win rate. And as we take a quick peek as well, next week Pez will be taking on sarries93. Sarries is currently sitting atop the leaderboard as the #1 squad in Sacred Flames. And you will be seeing Sparkle play Arca next week. All right, I believe that is in fact our last match for the night. We appreciate you sticking around to watch this doubleheader that we had laid out for you. We appreciate you visiting Sacred Flames and SkyPillarCup. We hope you have a good night, and we will see you next time.